Hello everyone, and welcome to this little project of mine. Now, before I get into the whole list that I have prepared for this video, I just want to go over a few things. What games are included in this list? This list includes games that I have played and games that are for my wishlist that I'm planning on getting. Also, underrated games and games that were forgotten throughout the years, or people just don't talk about them often enough, but I think they are worth a shot. Without further talking, let's get into this list. Enslaved, Odyssey to the best. This might come as a surprise, but the story of this game is very similar to a recently popular title, The Last of Us Part 1, which came out on PC this year. But this game is 3 years older than the original release of The Last of Us. Enslaved came out in 2010 and is definitely unheard of. Graphics are decent for the time, and there's a lot of gameplay variety which is combined with, I would say, impressive voice acting, which kept me entertained for the 6 or 7 hours of playtime that this game offers. BioShock II. Now, the whole BioShock franchise is good, but the reason I'm mentioning BioShock II is, well, one, it was released in 2010, and two, it is a good BioShock game because it has a story of its own, and therefore there's no need for you to play the whole franchise to understand what is going on, if you don't feel like it. Although, I do recommend BioShock 1 and as well BioShock Infinite, which are all great games. Keep in mind that the PC optimization for BioShock 1 and BioShock 2 is honestly questionable, even though remasters don't do well on modern hardware. If you look past that, there's a hell of a story that this game brings.
The struggle for supremacy is eternal, inevitable.
Castlevania, Lords of Shadow. For this game, I don't have much to say because I never really played it, but as a kid, I did read a lot about it in gaming magazines. I saw a lot of positive reviews. The thing is that this game was always stuck in my head and I always wanted to give it a try. It doesn't matter how much time passes, I still, from time to time, think about this game and say to myself, I should definitely try it sometimes.
Perhaps he is willing to sacrifice himself for you, for the greater good. I, however, am not. I am Odyssey, Lord of the Lycan.
Considering that back then I didn't really have a powerful enough PC to run this game, and now I don't really have much time, maybe you care to give this game a shot.
Nice job, mates. We're safe now, thanks to you. We won't make it long without food. If help don't come soon, we're gonna have to head to town. Meantime, maybe you can see if anybody needs help.
You're dead! Seems our gal was greeted with a welcoming committee.
First game that comes to my mind when somebody mentions gaming in 2011 is Bulletstorm. The game actually has a remaster called Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, which is the one that I played. Now, Full Clip Edition runs way better than the original, and it was released in 2017 actually. I did decide to mention Bulletstorm for the year 2011 because that is when it originally launched. The gameplay is pretty rich in a way that it encourages you to make creative kills and thus gain points together, which you can use to buy upgrades and so on and so forth. There's a lot of upgrades, and the graphics are pretty great for 2011. The gameplay is smooth, and there's an over-the-top badass dialogue with some really great voice acting and a really interesting story.
Hey! What the fuck? I told you to rig these to blow, not check your goddamn email. What are you doing on here? What am I looking at?
Every hit we've done, we've been killing innocent people.
It has a lot of replay potential, for sure as well. Yeah, when games are about having fun and not overpaid DLC and microtransactions.
Once they see what I've done, they'll be coming for blood.
Post-apocalyptic shooter Rage. Just looking at Rage makes the game scream 2011 at you. It has good gameplay, solid sound, great graphics, and a DLC that is definitely worth checking out. I could call this a Mad Max game before there was a Mad Max game, which I will talk about later in this video. It seems like a game that offers a fun time considering its reviews and its current price in the Steam store, on or off sale. I'm only mentioning the third installment of the Fear games since it came out in 2011, but the whole Fear franchise is a solid 3 games with a story worth playing. The original is from 2007, but if you don't want to go back that far and play such an old game, don't worry. The 3 games have little in common regarding its story, so you will enjoy it either way. Although I do recommend playing all of them. Fear 3 has great physics and graphics for the time of its release. Plus, it has bullet time. How can you hate on a game that has bullet time as a gameplay element?
Dropship incoming!
Released in 2012, the nightmare-ish game Alen Wake is something that is still around in my head even years after its release. Although primarily planned as an open-world game but had to be downgraded because of the consoles at the time.
This would make a wonderful setting for a book.
We're supposed to be on vacation, Alice. I'll figure it out when we get back home, okay?
Okay.
From beginning to the end, there is not a single moment that makes you feel like you're completely safe from the darkness that you are trying to fight. You can't trust the characters you encounter, nor yourself in the game, because the game makes you question your own sanity at times. probably heard about I Am Alive at least once, and seeing it on this list you definitely thought to yourself, oh wait, I remember that one. In 2012, at least where I come from, there was a lot of talk about this game, and it was covered on a lot of gaming magazines and YouTube channels, but it seems it didn't really stick with people.
I'm just taking the child to a safe place.
We got hungry children too.
May, hold on tight.
Someone's shooting at us!
Step back.
Oh, okay. No.
Wait, don't.
Set in post-apocalyptic New York City, you are forced to be resourceful and quick thinking in order to make it out alive, no pun intended. Scavenging for water, medkits, and bullets and other things that help you survive through this journey, you will also encounter other survivors that you will approach differently. Some you might help, some you might rob, and some might try to rob you. The scarcity of the resources you find, the desperation of the people you meet, and the deserted streets you roam are definitely realistic aspects of I Am Alive, which portrays a post-apocalyptic world right.
You make it up for me tonight, and we got a deal.
Huh? 我真係要咁做?
Meg, I got a message for you. Stop!
You can call Sleeping Dogs a GTA ripoff, but that's just a cheap way of describing this game, and cheap is what this game surely isn't. The very well executed voice acting and character animations make for every conversation in the game seem pretty natural and bring the realistic feeling of what it would really feel like to work for and against triads in Hong Kong.
Maybe I can cut you a deal. Oh, Superintendent, I'm in the middle of an interrogation.
Inspector, there's been a misunderstanding.
Graphics are what 2012 had to offer at the time, but it definitely doesn't lack in gameplay and especially combat. And you can't forget about an infamous karaoke minigame. Well, if that doesn't get you into this game, then I don't know what will. That was it for part 1, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will be making a part 2 very soon. Bye.